Ever wanted to animate your landing page and make it look like this? Well, in today's episode, I'll show you how you can animate your landing page in Figma. So without any further delay, let's go straight into the screen and let me show you. So first, let's see the animation itself. I'll just take my landing page and I'm gonna play it on the prototyping section. And let's wait for a few seconds until it loads. All right, so this is our hero section initially. So what's gonna happen is whenever a user loads the website, after like 2 seconds delay, there will be this animation, and you can now see the neighbor and you can see the CTA and the other details. Whenever he's scrolling down and comes to another section is loading. And then same goes for each and every section. Whenever a user is scrolling there, the section is coming, the images are coming. So this is the animation we will try to implement in our landing page, and you can also do that in your landing page. So yeah, before going to the animation of the landing page, first I'll have to make you understand how the prototyping works in Figma. And to understand prototyping, you will have to understand component and variants. So to do that, I'll just show you using a button. So suppose there is a button here, and I'm making a button for you guys. I'll just give it a little bit of auto layout and a little bit of rounded corner and fill. Yeah, so this is our button. Okay, so what happens in web is that whenever we go to a website and we hover on a button, the button's background changes, or sometimes we see a outline coming, or sometimes we see different kinds of animation. So this is called the hover effect. So to make a hover effect for a button, like before doing that, I'll just show you something. Yeah, so suppose this is the initial state of the button, and that is the after state of the button. I mean, whenever you are hovering. So now we have two states, the before and the after. So in components we can make variants of each component. So also one more thing is that if we don't know what component is, every entity in Figma can be a component. Like this text can be a component, this button can be a component, your whole hero section can be a component, even your landing page is a big component. So there are micro component and there are macro components. So we won't go that deep. I'll just say that we will need component for this today's task. All right, so now we have our button. There are two states, the before and the after, or the default or the hover. So to do that in animation, you will need to make components of this button. So I'll just click on this here on the top right, and now we have our component for the button. So I'll just make it, name it button. So we have our button, and then I'll just make a variant using this button. So this is the default state, and this is the hover state. So I'll just name it hover. And now what we want in our hover is that we want the background to go a little bit on the white side. So I'll just give the fill to the little bit of the white side. All right, so now we have our two states of our two variants of the button. So now we'll go to prototyping, and then I'll just connect these two, and now you can see that there is something called trigger. So what trigger is that? Whenever like what's gonna make the change, that's called a trigger. So you can see that in the drop down there is on click, on drag, while hovering. So we want this one, like whenever the mouse enters the button or it hovers over it, now we want our animation to work. So I'll just give it while hovering, and it's gonna change. Look, the action is changed. Like whenever you are hovering, there is an action. We want it to change to the hovers. Like you can see that, you can see the default and the hover. It's already in default. We want the default to change to the hover section. I mean hover state. So now I think it's gonna work. So I'll just take a frame here, and I'll copy the button and paste it here, and I'll just center align it, and let's see if it works or not. Look, whenever I'm taking the mouse on the button, the background is changing. So, and also there is a bit delay cause I think there is a smart, yeah. So there you can see that there is an option called animation. So it can be instant, can be dissolve, or can be smart animation. So all kinds of animation actually works in smart animation, but for hover effect, you can see that now whenever I'm taking the mouse on the button, it's changing instantly because I changed the settings to instant. So I hope now you understand how component and variant and prototyping all three works together to make an animation in Figma. So now I'll take you to our landing page. All right. So you can see that for your understanding, I've made two versions of my landing page. So this is the final version. Like there is like after animation, how the landing page is gonna look like. All right. And then there is this before version. Now you can ask me like why these are empty. I'll show you this later. And first, let's understand how the animations are gonna work. So to do that, I'll just show you from the hero section, and I think you can understand for the rest of the section and do it yourself. All right. So now I'll just copy this. Sorry, I'll just copy this because this is the after section, and I'll paste it. So you can see that these are already in component because I made components, so I'm just gonna delete them. Yeah, I just deleted this, and I'll make it in front of you so that you understand it better. And detach instant. Yeah. So now it's not a component, it's just our hero section. Yeah. So there are two states, the before and the after. This is the before state. So whenever you are gonna make a component for a section, make it on the before, make it on the after state, because in the before state there might be elements missing, like this section is not visible in the first stage, it comes later from left side. So first you have to make the after state, and then you will make a variant, and then you are gonna remove this. All right, so I'll just make a component for this one. Yeah, done. And now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make a variant. All right, so now we have our, this is gonna be our after section, I mean after state, and this is gonna be our before state. So so what we saw in the animation is that this header and subheader was on, I mean heading and subheading was on the center aligned. So what we have to do is we have to make it center aligned first. So I just have to do it manually because there is a group here, that's why it's not taking it. But you can do it using the buttons on the top right section, and yeah, we have it. And then we will just make the text center aligned. Same goes for the subheading here. We'll just make it center aligned here, and I think it's center aligned, and we are gonna make it make the text center aligned too. And now we saw that this section wasn't visible initially, it comes from the left side. So what we have to do this, we have to do the reverse of what we saw in the animation. So in the animation it was coming from the left side. So to do that, we'll have to, all we have to do is we have to drag it on the left and then take it out of the frame. So I'll just drag it, and I'm gonna take it out of the frame, and I'll just make the distance properly, and yeah, it's out of the frame now. Also, one more thing, that whenever you are prototyping, I mean you are doing this kind of animation for landing pages, always do clips content for the frames, because if you don't clip it, then what's gonna happen is that the elements you drag outside of the frame is gonna be visible. So also what we have to do is, we saw that the neighbor wasn't also visible, so we will just drag it outside of our frame too. Yes, done. Right now what we have to do is, we have our before and we have our after. So we'll just need to go to prototyping, and we have to connect the before to the after. And then what we wanted, you can see that there can be an after delay. How after delay works is that there will be a few seconds delay. So I'll just make a 1 second delay. 1 second is 1000 milliseconds actually, and then I named it to change to what, change to the after state. All right, we understand. And now we will have to add some animation, because if you do the instant, it will instantly change to the after section, and it's gonna look bad. So now we'll have to select smart animate from here, and then there are many like effects, I mean animation effect. Like it can be linear, like linear means like it's gonna go slowly. There is a gentle one, there is a quick one, there is a bouncy one, like it's gonna just do a bounce. We saw that there are so many animation styles, but for this one we will just take select ease in and out, and then we will give it a 1 second duration. What this duration is that how long you want the animation to happen, like how slowly you want the elements to come. All right, so I hope we are done now. So to test it out, I'll just take a frame here, and I'll name it test frame. Yeah, test frame. And now I'll just copy the before and paste it, sorry, I'll just copy the before and paste it here, and I'll just make it top align, and let's play it in the prototyping now. All right, so now you saw that after 1 second the animation happened. So I think it happened a bit first. I'll just show you again. Like it's gonna load, and initially there will be only the center aligned heading and subheading, and then the other things come. Sorry for the lag. I think this is an issue with my computer, so it won't be happening if you if your system is working properly. All right, so we saw that the hero section is working, and now you can see that I made components and variant for each section here. So these are all before, and these are the after section. So I'll show you from this one. You can see that on the hotel and resort section we saw that first of all these images were not visible, and then whenever the user scrolls to that section, then these images came. Like this one came from the left, these two came from the right, this came from the bottom. So now we understand that how this is gonna happen in your animation. And also you can see that in the before section this is not available, I mean visible, this is not visible, they are gonna come later. What I did is I just dragged them outside of the frame. Like you can see that I can show you from this one. I'll just select this frame, and then on the left side you can see that there is the image 1 is outside of the frame, image 2 is outside of the frame, image 3 is outside. So I just dragged them outside of the frame, and then what I did is I just clipped the contents. So now let's do our complete our landing page. So I'll as it worked, I'll just take the hero section and then copy the before state, and I'm just gonna paste it on our landing page and make it top aligned. Yeah, and I hope we are almost done. What we have to, there is one more thing I have to do. I'll show it later to you. I'll just need to connect this button to the hero section, and on click on scroll to, and there will be an animation. And yeah, now let's watch the final final state of the landing page, and let's see how the animation actually works. All right, just cross it and then we'll play it again. It's loading. Yeah, so first we have our hero section animation. We scroll down to the second section. Now we have our services coming, then we have our popular destination coming, the tour packages, the hotel and resorts, the passport section, the reviews, and then the accordion itself. You can see the FAQ. So you might be wondering how I did this kind of animations. It's pretty simple actually. What we have to do is, first of all, you have to make one accordion option, I mean one of these sections, this one, like one questions. So you have to make a before, which is just a question, and then we have the after, which is the after section, right? And then what we have to do is that we have to just connect them using prototyping. Like if we click on this section, we want to change to that, and then we gave it a smart animation. And then if the user wants to close it, you can use this button, and then we connected this button to that section, and that's how it's actually working. Like if I'm clicking on here, our question is opening. If we want to close it, we'll just click on this button. And lastly, we have our contact us section, and there is the animation for this section too. And then you can see that this button here is also hoverable. Like you can see hover effect, and whenever I'm gonna click here, it's gonna take you to the top. So this is basically the animation of my landing page, and you can get an idea and do for yours too. And lastly, you can see that in this button here, there is a flying, so sorry for that. And then you can see that what I did is I made two variants of this button, but on the bottom button, like on the footer, this button, there's the initial one, and then there is the variant 2 or the hover ones. What I did is that I said if I'm gonna hover, you are gonna change the portrait. You can see that while hovering, it's gonna change the first state to the second state. And then how I did this one is that I just said that I selected this one, and I said that if I click on it, then scroll to the hero section. So yeah, this is all about the landing page animation in Figma. I hope you understood, and if you have any queries, let me know in the comment section. And thanks for watching, guys. I hope you're gonna like this video.